market has just opened, and what we are seeing is really weak clues if we see the macro as well as the micro picture. What we are learning right now is Sensex is down over 1,300 points, which is precisely 2% down as well. Nifty currently trading below 16,000 mark. It is currently trading at 15,870 point mark. So yes, market is trading quite weak, and this is in the backdrop of very weak global cues as well. So as to speak, especially when you talk about the geopolitical aspect of it, given the Russia-Ukraine border crisis, that has played a significant part in spooking the market, so as to say. Nifty is down by around 500 to 600 points, currently trading at above 15,800 mark. Sensex is significantly down. It is currently trading, it has crashed over 1,300 points. So that is geopolitical aspect is one aspect if we talk about it. In fact, the crude prices if we talk about, that is also at record high. Brent and NYMEX are currently trading at record high, which has also played a role in spooking the market and investor sentiment as we speak. It remains to be seen through the day when the market, what really happens through the day, and it will be at 3:30 when we will know exactly where market stands if we talk about today's session.
Tell our viewers that domestic markets, of course, are reacting to prospects of the US and its
So yes, market seems to have been spooked as far as the Russia-Ukraine border is concerned, because that has played a significant role in, spooking the sentiment of the investor as well. Because remember, in the past few days, what we've seen is really weak macro as well as a micro picture. If we talk about inflation for that matter, that has also played a significant role that has sort of weakened the market sentiment. We are being joined by market expert Sharad Kohli on the broadcast. Good morning, sir. What do you make of the market sentiment right now? Very weak global as well as a micro picture. What do you think is the reason behind spooking the market as we speak?
So good morning. The fresh concerns which are coming out of the market is out of the fact that America is now considering ban on the Russian energy, which is oil and gas, which until now wasn't being considered. So I think that has suddenly shot up the crude prices. The crude last night touched $140, which sent alarm bells around the world. And I think that is one of the main reasons why you see this fresh selling in the market. Although the uncertainty in the Russian-Ukraine war and the war escalating to a nuclear level to becoming a world war, I think those fears are already there for the last few days. I think this fresh selling has come out of the crude oil prices, which touched 140, and I think that is upsetting the budgets of various economies around the world. It is creating a fear in the global economy that this can lead to an aggravated situation, which was already in problem due to the pandemic, due to inflation. This will fuel inflation, the commodity prices, the supply chain disruptions. I think all combined together are counting on the market right now.
That's right. And sir, what do you have to say about this? That you think it's a short-term correction, because we see the frontline indices which are currently trading 2 to 3% lower right now. So is it a short-term correction, do you think, is it right now?
Well, market is very emotional and market reacts very quickly, and market never goes in one direction. So unless things don't get any worse on the Russian-Ukraine, you can see this occasional bounce back. But those bounce backs will only sustain if the situation on the Russian-Ukraine conflict improves. If it doesn't improve, if it aggravates, I think we can see further correction coming down. But the advice to all the traders and investors is that they will witness occasional bounce back. Well, it's all based on news flow. The markets normally follow the technicals and fundamentals, but right now the markets are driven by the news flow. So every time you get a news, the market goes down. Every time you hear something nice, the market goes up. But right now, I think the sentiment is quite depressed, and I don't see any major trend reversal in the short term.
Thanks, sir, for speaking to us and giving your insights as to what the market picture looks like. We are also being joined by market expert Mohit Gaba on the phone line. Thanks for taking out time and speaking to us, sir. What do you make about the macro picture as well as the micro picture of the market that we are seeing right now? Very steep cuts that we are seeing in the market. right now, if we talk about Sensex and Nifty, do you see it as a short-term correction?
Well, we are in a strong downtrend, and actually just a couple of days back, we've broken below the previous period of 16,440, which means to tell me that we are in a lower top, lower high zone, and it's going to continue to move downwards in the coming days. Initially, right now, as we speak, we could be a little overextended, and this down move could have a nice upward reaction in the next day or two, even if maybe at the end of day. But let's not forget that we are in a clear downtrend, and I expect this to continue in the coming weeks until things really change in the macro front.
Well, thanks, sir, for getting us those insights as to giving us a picture on where market stands right now. So the market appearing quite bleak as we speak. Sensex and Nifty both seeing steep cuts. Of course, the global picture looks very weak if you talk about the geopolitical aspect. If you talk about the crude prices, for instance, which are at an all-time lows, high. So that has spooked market to a great extent. It remains to be seen if it is a short-term correction and if market actually recovers from the losses we are seeing right now.